Well, for today's moment of learning, I thought over the next couple of weeks I'd do, I don't know if you want to call it like a myth busting or something like that. I'd talk about some things that have to do with Christmas that either are wrong or right, or they're slightly wrong or slightly right. And I just wanted to explain some of these things just to kind of clarify. Some of these things you may have heard before, but I thought I would kind of go through them and give a little insight on some of the different things. So for this morning, I wanted to cover on what day was Jesus born? Wasn't he born on the 25th of December? The answer is, we don't know the exact day that Jesus was born. The scriptures are more concerned with the details regarding the manner and the way and the circumstances around the birth of Jesus Christ than the biographical particulars, such as the day of the week or the year, even the season. You can make some guesses at things, but that's not the point of it. But December 25th, actually, as just a historical note, was actually the birthday of Mithra, the pagan god of light. In 325 AD, Emperor Constantine redesignated December 25th then as the day to celebrate the birthday of the true God of light, Jesus Christ. I think I lost my... There we go. Is this a problem? No. Why is this not a problem? Well, a couple reasons. Because the celebration is a commemoration over who Jesus is, no matter the exact day. It's generally more of our modern scientific mind that insists on having all the details of such things, which in the grand scheme of things really don't matter all that much. The point is that Christmas celebrates not so much the birthday as the birth event of when God became flesh, when Jesus first dwelt in our midst. The importance of Jesus being in what and who he was and what he always will always be to us. One last note, too, because I've heard this. I thought about this. I didn't stick this in there. But one time, I've heard a lot of people, especially if they read about this, say, well, wait a second. Wasn't this originally from a pagan whatever? Wasn't this originally from another thing? And they try and say, well, they're trying to undermine Christmas or undermine Christianity with some saying, well, it's actually started in something. What they don't know is they've done a little bit of history background, but they haven't done enough digging in history. What you realize when you start digging those is that it's what was very typical back then is that they would redesignate things. So in other words, they'd say, look, enough of this all celebrating in the pagan god of light. Let's make this day the celebration of the god. So it's not that it was based or that it somehow flowed out of it. It was the fact that they took that, and I had a professor, I took a couple classes at the Greek Orthodox seminary when I was in seminary, and he called it baptizing it. They baptized something pagan into a Christian use. And I always liked that way of thinking of the fact that it took something that was pagan and said, let's make it something worthwhile rather than just something meaningless. So a lot of times you hear those things, well, that was really based in it. It wasn't that it was based in that somehow they come along and they said, well... No, it's that the fact that they're like, look, we don't want to be like that anymore. That's the old stuff. We want to be new. And so they would take it and baptize it or redesignate it as something now meaningful and Christian. So that's our moment of learning for today.